side forevermore. You know your love keep on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I say your love keep on lifting me higher and higher. Now once I was downhearted. Disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and you soon departed. And you know I never showed his face again. That's why your love keep on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I say your love keep on lifting me. Hey everybody! Welcome along to another edition of Reading Rocks. My name's Stuart Reid. If you haven't already guessed, I'm an author. I get to write books. I love books. I love reading, I love writing, I love books, I love stories. I think books are brilliant. I think reading rocks. I've even put it on my t-shirt. I'm going to show you how much reading rocks. At any point during the next half an hour, if I say books are brilliant, I want you lot to shout as loud as you can, reading rocks! Right, let's give it a practice. Ready? Books are brilliant. Pretty good, pretty good. Now what I want you to do, I want you to pretend you're holding your favourite book in this hand. Hold it up like a guitar. Make the little rock and roll sign with the other hand, like that. And I'll say books are brilliant. I want you guys to go, reading rocks! Loud as you can. Ready? Ready, boys and girls? Books are brilliant. Yes! Right, kids, shh, shh. Just the teachers this time. You ready, teachers? You ready? Books are brilliant.
Reading rocks!
That was rubbish, teachers. My kids. Are you going to show the teachers how it should be done? Right, okay, shh. Teachers, shh. Just the kids this time. Ready, kids? Books are brilliant. Fantastic, don't forget, we're going to say it before the very end. These are my books. Giant Geriatric Generator Power Pink Poo Pump, Zigzag Zip Face Zombies. We're going to do a little bit from the zombie book today. It's my bestseller. Seems to be, kids love it. You know why? Because you're all a bunch of mucky little monsters. It's a book about little kids that walk around the playground going, bogey, mucky little monsters. Zigzag Zip Face Zombies. Giant Geriatric. Who can tell me what we call it when all the words start with the same sound in the same sentence? 1, 2, 3.
Alliterations!
You remembered! Alliterations, fantastic, awesome, amazing, astounding, astonishing alliterations. When the word starts with the same sound in the same Stop laughing! We did the big baboon. We did the elephant. It's not. It doesn't say elephant. It says alliterations. Awesome, amazing, astounding, astonishing alliterations. When the words start with the same sound in the same silly sentence, and it conjures up so many crazy. Would you lot stop giggling? There's no elephant. There's no. Ah! Oh man, that's an alliteration as well. Totally terrible toilet training. Do not teach your elephants to wee in the street. That's disgusting, boys and girls. Absolutely disgusting. Snot zombie book. It's based upon a true story, because I went to a school and there was 400 kids in the audience, and the big kids at the back were, yeah, we love zombies, and the little kids down the front were going, yeah, and we love Snot. There was about 30 or 40 of them. They were taking it in turns to pick their noses. All of them, they were picking each other's noses. They were picking other people's noses. They were picking Bob's nose. I forgot to introduce Bob at the beginning. Bob, you there? Give everybody a wave, Bob. Yes, give us a thumbs up, Bob. Fantastic. They were picking Bob's nose. It was disgusting. They had Bob's boogers every place. But they thought it was funny. Everybody picks their nose. Bob. Yeah, you pick your nose, Bob. Don't deny it. Now, the thing is, even celebrities pick their nose. Wayne Rooney picks his nose. There's his wife. Look at that big booger you found there, Wayne. Even Justin Bieber picks his nose. Ah, Justin Booger Boy Bieber. And actually, I'll let you into a little secret. Bob thinks he looks like Justin Bieber. Bob sits here, flicks his hair. Oh, look at me, Justin Bieber. My goodness. And even David Beckham. Hold on. Which one of you teachers out there in classroom land went, what-de-woo, what-de-woo? You'll not think David Beckham's all what-de-woo, and you realise that he wears snot rockets on the pitch. Blasts it all over the place. Disgusting. So we'll do a little bit from the Snot Zombie book today. And a pair of underpants. We haven't done the underpants bit. Let me show you my underpants. That's them there, part 1 and part 2. Gorgeous George and unidentified unsinkable underpants. Unidentified unsinkable underpants. No, wait. Who said Captain Underpants? Not allowed to say Captain Underpants. They'd sue me. No! These two books are about where George and Kenny and Alison and Grandpa Jock go up to Loch Ness. You see, Grandpa Jock, he doesn't want to go. For a start, Grandpa Jock doesn't want to sit in a train for 3 hours and go all the way up to Loch Ness, because when old people sit in a train for too long, they get really sore bottoms. So what Grandpa Jock does is he gets 2 whoopee cushions and he glues them onto the back of his shorts and he jumps in a train. Oh, that's so comfortable! And he goes all the way up to Loch Ness. Gets off the train, pitches his tent at the side of the water. That's the bit we're going to read just now. Pitches his tent. There he's there!
Oh, Stuart boy! How you doing?
I'm brilliant. Do you want to be in this bit? Come on, Grandpa, you can be in this bit as well. You feature in this part of the story. I'm going to do part 1. Let me go and get Grandpa Jock for you.
Steady.
I'm alright, Grandpa. I'm fine.
Steady.
I'm trying to be steady, man.
Careful now.
I'm being careful. Right.
Would you stop right on up
It's
there?
not me. It's you, you maddle. Right, this bit of the book.
Calm down, laddie. Calm down.
We've got to try and picture Loch Ness. So we've got the water over here. We've got the mountains, Ben Nevis, and we need a campsite. So I need you to visualise that inside your heads, kids. What we've got to do is get a television switched on inside our head, and we've got the water, we've got the mountains, and we've got the campsite. Can you try and visualise that? Water, campsite. Right, hold on. There's some of you kids that are not actually concentrating properly. You've got to visualise, right? Water. Bob, you need to help with some of the kids that are not visualising properly. Bob, that's it. Now, what's that you've got, Bob? It's not a microphone. Stop you pretending you're Justin Bieber again. I've told you. Right, in fact, put the stand out, hold it straight out, that's it. Pretty good like that. Well done, Bob, that's good. Now, keep it steady. Keep it steady, Bob. Enough of your nonsense. Right, steady. Now, what we're going to... Bob, you'll get your pay docked, young man. Right, keep it there. Perfect. Now, Jock, just you. Stand steady. You steady. The thing is, does this look like a tent? Bob, does...
For all the times that you're writing about.
Bob, stop singing. This is my bit. Look, you're trying to take over again. What's he like? Look at me. I'm Justin Bieber. Flick my hair up. You don't look like Justin Bieber. Now,
And all the clubs you get in using my name.
Bob, would you stop your nonsense? Water, mountains, campsite. Does this look like a tent?
No.
It does. Bob, let's take the curtains down.
No.
Can we pull the curtains down?
No.
Right, I'm going to do it. Fantastic. Steady, Grandpa. Keep going, man. Keep going. Yes! Well done, Grandpa. That was brilliant. Does this look like a tent now? What do you mean, yeah, no, eh? It's visualisation. You've got to use your imaginations, right? It's not a book, it's a movie. No, it's not a movie, it's a book. It might be a movie. Did any of your dad Steven Spielberg? That would be pretty cool. Now, Okay, we're going to do a little bit from chapter 7. Picture the scene. Water, mountains, campsite. The kids have been off to town to get their supper. They're heading back to the campsite. Here we go. Chapter 7. By now, the field was a sea of camps and caravans and campers. Grandpa Jock was nowhere to be seen. Ah! Where did we leave him again? Shouted George, putting his hands on his hips. I can't remember, cried Kenny. I think he's over this way, announced Alison, marching off between the first 2 rows. She stopped abruptly. Coming from the middle of the campsite, there was now a low, muffled, grumbling noise. Is that your grandpa? Shouted Kenny. I'm not. There it is again. Shh. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's your grandpa. And George was pushed in closer to investigate. In the middle of the grassy isolation, there was now a man-eating tent. Or was it a tent eating a man? The tent wasn't put up, not in a conventional sense. There were now arms and legs and tent poles punching in every direction, and the worst possible language heard grumbling from the middle of the big blue bag. Grandpa! Shouted George. Bloomin' blasted, stinky, stupid, smelly. Grandpa Jock's head had poked out at the top of the tent pole. His bushy moustache was jumping up and down, and his big red nose looked ready to explode. Help me get out, lad! I've been stuck in here for ages! George moved over to begin to untangle the old Scotsman from the mass of rope and pole and canvas. Alison began to help, and pretty soon the old geezer was safely removed. George! He cried. I've been stuck in there for 2 hours. I need a wee! Cried the old Scotsman, and he ran off towards the toilet blocks before it was too late. End of chapter 7. Thank you. Take a bow, take a bow, take a bow, Bob. Thank you very much. Take a bow. Bob, well done there. And
You should go.
stop singing, Bob, for goodness sake, man. What's he like? The education bit. Grandpa Jock just went to the toilet. He's an old man, can't quite control his bladder. But the bit about education is, when you're writing stories, there are ideas all around you. There's ideas for story writing absolutely everywhere. If you want to write a story, the first thing you could think about is alliterations. Like, think about your own name. Or my name. You could write a book about Stinky Stuart and his super smelly socks. Or Bob the Baboon and his big blue bottom. Or Brilliant Barry and his big bad brother. There was another one in there as well. Alliterations. Kind of so old. I really am getting really old. See this lockdown, I can't even speak properly. I just forget things. I had a really good story. David! Dangerous David and his dog-eating dinosaur. That's a good one. So think about your own name and conjure up words that don't always sit side by side in the same sentence. Fabulous. Alliterations help, like unidentified, unsinkable underpants. I thought, where am I going to sink a pair of pants? Loch Ness. So suddenly you bring in all these mad ideas. You can also look at real life and imagination. Because I told you earlier that the Snot zombie book is based in a school. And the big kids, yeah, zombies, so that was it. It was Snot and zombies going together. Look at things round about you and add a little dollop of your imagination. And another way you can write cool stories is dreams. My very first book, Giant Geriatric Generator, was about a dream I had when I was 18. I dreamt about this huge big factory. I knew what it did, I knew what it made, I knew what it looked like, and I had to get it down in a story. So if you've got a cool dream and you keep a little notepad at the side of your bed, you wake up, before you go down for breakfast, write it down. Because if you don't write it down before breakfast, you'll forget about it. In fact, 200 years ago, there was a young lady, that's her picture there, don't know if any of you recognise her, her name's Mary Shelley. She was 18, and she had a dream about a man in a white coat, and he was sewing fingers onto hands, he was sewing hands onto arms, and arms onto bodies, and he was bringing the body back to life with the electricity. Zzz. Anybody know the name of that book? Yeah, well, that's it. Can you imagine, more than 200 years ago, a young lady, 18 years old, wrote a book called Frankenstein, the most famous horror book in history, based upon a dream that she had. So keep a little notepad at the side of your bed and write all your cool dreams down. Now, what? Asparagus. What are we talking about asparagus for? Now the next... Ah, Bob, no! Asparagus. Of course. Oh, yeah. I love asparagus. In fact, I would say asparagus is awesome, amazing, astounding, and astonishing. Because I'll show you what it does. I'm going to choke on my asparagus in a minute. Hold on, wait till I get a drink. Right, that's not so bad. Asparagus. Asparagus takes the sting out of bee stings. The ancient Greeks used to do this. They would rub it into the bit where they'd been stung, took the pain away. Also, asparagus helps your eyesight. There is a chemical in asparagus and carrots that really does help your eyes. Asparagus eases toothache. The Romans did this one. Rub it into your gums, takes the toothache away. The other amazing thing about asparagus, it's a good source of vitamin C. There's as much vitamin C in this bunch of asparagus as in 3 whole oranges. It's a member of the lily family, like garlic or onions, but it doesn't make your breath smell. And asparagus is known as the king of vegetables because it's got a little crown round the top. But the very best thing about asparagus is if you eat loads and loads and loads and loads of asparagus, you know what it does? It turns your wee green. It really does. I'll show you. Look, here's some I prepared earlier. It's great. Actually, no, it's not my wee. It's not my wee at all. It's Nessie wee. I went up to Loch Ness with a bucket and I'm running around going, Nessie, 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 wee in my bucket for me. Here we go, Bob. Take my wee. Just put it down gently. Fabulous. Thank you. Right, we're going to do a little bit from Underpants Part 2. Right, we're going to do a little bit from Chapter 31. Now, this is where they're getting ready to head home. Hold on a second, I've got to lift my glasses up because I need to read this bit. I haven't read it for a while. I can't read it with my glasses on. Can't see you guys with my glasses off, but that doesn't matter. Chapter 31. The 2 boys were even late for dinner. They'd been boiling stalks of asparagus in a separate pan when they joined Alison and Grandpa Jock at the breakfast. When they joined Alison and Grandpa Jock on the picnic blanket in front of the tents. I didn't know you liked asparagus, George, said Alison carefully. Oh, yeah, I love it, replied George, munching on another stalk. I didn't see you adding any grass to that. No, you must have been seeing things, Alison. There's quite a pile of asparagus there, lad, nodded Grandpa Jock, pointing at the steaming pile of stalks. Yeah, we just thought we'd use them up, said Kenny. There's only about 50 or 60 of them. I'm impressed. You haven't even tried to stick one up your nose yet, giggled Alison. And for the rest of the evening, they spent in front of the campfire, talking about pants and discussing the events of the day, munching on their asparagus. By 10 o'clock the next morning, George, Alison and Kerry and Grandpa Jock were back on the train, heading southbound this time, on their way home. They were perched on a table of 4, and Grandpa Jock was sitting awkwardly, reading an early edition of the newspapers. Are you sitting comfortably, Grandpa? Sniggered George. No, I'm not. And you know fine well why not. My overinflated underpants are stretched beyond capacity, and they exploded. George and Kenny were too busy giggling. No, you go first. No, you go first and I'll go next, they whispered. What are you 2 up to? Said Alison, raising one suspiciously bushy eyebrow. Nothing. Just then, Kenny jumped up and he ran down the centre aisle of the carriageway, got to the toilet door, slid it open and stepped inside. He's bursting, said George as casually as possible. Grandpa Jock stared at him suspiciously. I haven't seen you go to the loo this morning either. Oh, don't worry, I'll go in a minute, Grandpa, honestly. Alison eyed George warily. He kept crossing his legs and fidgeting around on the seat, and he was hiding something behind his jumper. What's that you've got there? No, nothing, Alison, nothing. And he hid the glass jar behind him. Before Alison could continue her investigations, Kenny was back. Well, said George. It's true, said Kenny, it really does. No way. George jumped up. That's it, I'm testing mine. And he was off to the toilets as quick as he could. 2 minutes later, he was back, holding his hand behind his back. Well, it's true, it really does work. Here's some I prepared earlier. Na-na! And he held a glass jar and dumped it down on the table on the train. Poof! Ah! Is that your wee? cried Alice. You weed in a pot? For goodness sake, young man, that's disgusting. Science is over. And Grandpa Jock made George go up to the toilet and pull his wee back where it belonged. End of chapter 31. And thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Right, wee? No, wee Bob. Here, wee Bob. Take the glass of wee. Right, that's disgusting, young man. What we're going to do now is I'm going to read another bit from another one of my stories. Bob. Bob, I'm joking, man. You're supposed to give me the Heimlich manoeuvre or a kiss of life or something. You just came up and whacked me. Give me a drink. Give me a drink. Bob, you were supposed to give me my juice. You made me drink wee. It's actually quite good. Who wants a drink of my wee? Bob, you want to drink my wee? No, you're not getting any. I'm finishing it myself. This is tasty. Oh no. Have you not heard the news? There are snot zombies in schools all around Britain. Sniffy, sneezy, snotty little kids running around going, bogies. I was actually trapped in a school once with 13 little snot zombies. There they were, sniffing and sneezing and snorting. Oh, mucky little monsters. In fact, there's one of them now. That's one of the kids in the book. His name's Johnny. But the thing is about kids, they don't wait to go to school to learn to pick their noses. Tiny little babies think it's absolutely hilarious. What would happen if a barrel of toxic fluid went loose, it went airborne? People began sniffing and sneezing, then they began to feel grouchy and grisly and gruesome. Children, keep calm and don't eat boogers. Oh man, that's disgusting. Oh, look, little kid sticking his nose so far up his nose, his eyeballs popping out. That's disgusting, young man. And even little kids who meet Princess Kate pick their nose. She's going to be the queen one day. You can't pick your nose in front of Princess Kate. Children, my goodness. Oh, look at that little baby. His entire top lip's covered in snot and he thinks it's funny. Sniffing and sneezing and oh, no, put it back. Kids, stop looking, it's disgusting. It's hideous. Change it. Hands up who can read. Yes. Hands up who loves reading. Hands up who still picks their nose. Bob. Right, silly question. In fact, if any of you put your hand up there, thank you very much for telling the truth. If you didn't put your hand up, you're all telling fibs. Everybody picks their nose. Look at this dude here. Here he's got boomerang boogers. That's disgusting. Let it go, young man. Boing! Boing! What we're going to do is we're going to do a little story from the snot zombies. Right. What you need to, we're going to do a little bit from chapter 4. And what you need to do, you need to visualise inside your head. Try to picture an empty classroom. Like the little one's classroom in your school. Completely deserted. George, Kenny and Alison are going to find out where the vicious virus began. Sounds quite familiar actually, but I wrote this book about 10 years ago. Right, chapter 4. Thump. The noise came from the back of the classroom. George, Kenny and Alison all turned. Hello, shouted George. Is there anybody there? Cried Kenny, edging around the last row of desks. There, at the very edge of the classroom, was a small girl with long blonde pigtails and a pink hat. She was kneeling upwards with her face pressed up against the underside of the wood. Ugh, is she licking the desk? Oh man, cried George. She's only eating the crusty boogers from underneath all the tables. She's on the last one. She's licked them all clean. Gross! Shrieked Alison, and the little girl looked up with a ravenous glint in her eye. At first it was a protective keep away growl as the small child staggered gently to her feet. Bogies, she growled. Did she just say bogies? Giggled George. Bogies. please, growled the little girl again. That would be a yes, George. Alison, 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 the teeny tiny little snot licker wants to eat you. Keep that monster away from me, she's infected. But by now, the small child was staggering and swaying to her feet. There were 2 green streams of snot dripping down from her nostrils, and she began to breathe and shut. End of chapter 4. That's disgusting. Bob, catch my snot. Don't throw snot at people, children. It's disgusting. Use a tissue. There's only one cure. There's only one way to save yourselves from this vicious virus. Shall I tell you what it is? You must buy my books. No. You'll thank me for it later, because you'll realise there are snot zombies everywhere. That's disgusting. That's terrible. Use a tissue, children. My goodness. Super spreaders that you are. That's disgusting. That's not disgusting. That's me. When I was a kid, that was my first job. My first job when I left the school was pushing trolleys in a supermarket, and I decided I was going to be the best trolley pusher in the world, and they promoted me. Whatever you do, kids, be the best. I was the best trolley pusher. I was the best manager. I became an author. I started writing books for a living. I've now got 8 books out, and I've now been to over 2,000 schools and libraries and book festivals around Britain, Ireland, Abu Dhabi, Hong Kong, Australia, and India. Thank you. Who wants to buy a book? Yes. Who's forgot their money? That's okay, because I've given the school an order for them. Thank you. Let's bring your money into the school. £7 for one, £12 for 2. 5 books for 20 quid, it's a bargain. 8 books for 30, it's an even bigger bargain. I'll sign the book, I'll put your name and my name in a special dedication, and I'll send it back to the school, and I'll pay the postage for you. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Can I just say that one more time? Books are brilliant! Give yourselves a great big round of applause. Give the teachers a round of applause. Thank you very much. I'm all done here. Have a good time. Keep reading. Bye.
Your love lifted me higher than I've ever been lifted before. So keep it up.
High five, Bob. That was a good show.
I'll be at your side forevermore. You know your love keep on lifting me higher. I say your love keep on lifting me higher. Now once I was downhearted. Disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and you soon departed. And you know it never showed his face again. That's why your love keep on lifting me higher. I said your love keep on lifting me higher. I'm so glad I finally found you. It's that one in a million, girl. And now with my loving arms around you, honey, I can stand up and face the world. And let me tell you, your love keep on lifting me higher.
In fact, everybody's going to be watching that. We'll switch it off before the end. Again, 39 minutes. Less all the messes Should bring it down to about 29.